Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and this video is a comparison of Todoist and Asana. I will be comparing these tools side by side, showing you a demonstration, a walkthrough, all of the features that you get with both of these tools to figure out overall which is going to be the best tool for you. The first thing that we need to talk about when it comes to both of these tools, Todoist and Asana, is going to be the pricing. Now, these both have free plans, so we can see the personal plan, which is free forever. This is going to be free. And then on Todoist, we have this beginner plan, which is once again free forever. Now, from these free plans, I would definitely say that Asana is the best. The main reason for this is because you get access to the calendar view on Asana, and you actually don't with this free plan on Todoist. You need to upgrade. And when we are looking at a task manager or a project management tool, having a calendar there so that you can see dates and when everything is due is so important. However, once you actually leave that free plan, once you actually eventually need to upgrade if you do, then Asana becomes a lot more expensive. Now, I can't actually switch this to US dollars, but this is in pounds, so it's going to be slightly more expensive. But immediately looking at this, we can see that Asana is double the price for starter and then more than double the price for the business plan or the advanced plan. So that is something to keep in mind, and for some people, it's definitely going to be worth sticking to Todoist so that when you eventually do need to upgrade, it's still a lot cheaper. But Asana does have some features that you might want to pay this premium for. Let's get into that now. So this is Asana right here, and this is Todoist. We can immediately see that Asana has a more professional, it has a more advanced user interface. However, for the basics on both of these tools, honestly, the basics are very similar. We can create a project down here. So let's create a new project on Asana. We can go new project. And then this is something I want to mention as well. The templates on Asana are so much better. So we can click on user template right here. And we can see that although these templates are a little bit more advanced, we can go find inspiration. We can use a goals process workflow. We can use a one-on-one meeting agenda, bug tracking, stand-up meeting. We have all of these different templates. So if you're going to use this for bug tracking, then you might want to come straight in and use this template immediately. Whereas on Todoist, honestly, the templates that we have here are really bad. I don't even know why they have them, to be honest. For example, we can go for like a project tracker right here. Like, honestly, would you use this as a project tracker? Probably not. Like, I certainly wouldn't. It's just really bad. And I just wouldn't use the template feature on Todoist. Whereas on Asana, I definitely would. But let's leave that for now, and we want to create a blank project. And let's say for this, we are doing some sales and client acquisition, just as an example. So we can put that in there. We can then choose the default view. So we can flick between these. It doesn't really matter what we put for now, but let's go for the board view as I prefer this. Then we can click on create project, and this board is now going to be added in. So by default, we have to do, in progress, and complete. We'll go ahead and change these later. In Todoist, we can create a project by going to My Projects, clicking on plus, and then add a project. And then once again, we will call this Sales and Client Acquisition. We can then choose a color, how this is going to show up on the sidebar. So let's just set this to green. And then once again, we will go for the board view, although we can flick between these later on. When we add this in, we are not given anything by default, so we need to create the sections ourselves. Let's go for To Do. Then we can add this section. Then we can go in progress, under review, and then we can have complete. Perfect. We now have that set up. If we want to edit these in Asana, well, first of all, we can go in, and if we want to change any of these titles, we just click on these three dots, rename the section, and then we can rename this to whatever we want. So if I was using this as like a YouTube project manager, I might put like to do, recorded, edited, uploaded, and then complete. But I'm going to leave this nice and simple. The only section I'm going to add here is going to be under review. And then we can actually move these along if we want to replace these. So under review is going to go before complete. And we now have that set up. So we now have the board set up in both of these tools. Next, let's go ahead and add a task. For this task, I want me and my team to do some outreach. So we can click on add task, and I'm going to title this 1000 outreach. We can then go down and add a description if we want to. So I will say reach out to 1000 prospects. Reach out to 1000 prospects using cold email. Then we can go down and we can add a due date. So I can say that this is going to be due, maybe Friday would be a little bit of a stretch. So we'll say next Friday. Then we can assign people right here. So if we have team members, I will show you how to add these later. We can basically go in and assign a person to this task. We can then set a priority for this. So blue is lowest priority and then red is highest. Let's set this to red. And then we can add a reminder with the paid plan. However, with the free plan, this is not available. So let's just go ahead and add this in. We can then do the same on Asana. So I don't know why this task is here. Let's just right click and delete this. And then once again, we are going to say 1000 outreach. And we can't immediately add a description. All we can do from here is assign somebody to this task if we have other team members on our board. And we can also set a due date. So once again, let's set this to next Friday. Perfect. Once this is set up inside of Asana, we can click in. And this is where we can add the description and anything else that we want to add. So let's just copy and paste this. So we can go in here, copy this, and we'll just paste it into here. And perfect. We now have this set up. What we can do within both of these tools, and I think this is very important as well, especially if you are working with a team, is we can go in and we can add subtasks. So 1000 outreach is a little bit broad. My team might come here and say, okay, I don't really know how he wants this doing. So we can click in and we can add subtasks right here. So for the subtasks, I might say, collect 1000 prospect emails, create 3 cold email drafts, create 12 subject lines, test each on 10 people, and then send the best email combination to other prospects. So we can enter that in right there. And now my team can come along, where they can click into 1000 outreach and they can see everything that they need to do. So they could come along here, move this into in progress, and then they could come along and say, okay, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that, and they can check these off right here. We can do the same thing in Todoist. So we can click in, we can add the subtasks right here. I'm not actually going to do this again because it would take way too long. So let's just enter something in. And then once again, my team can come in here, they can click in and they can check these subtasks off as they go throughout this process. So once that is set up, we can go to the calendar view on Asana. And if I just move this along to the date this is due, we can see that this is due on Friday the 12th. So anything we add in, any due dates that we add in, they are going to show up under this calendar section. Now on Todoist, as I said, we don't really have a set calendar view. So in here, if I wanted to go to sales and client acquisition, then if I go to change this to calendar, it's going to tell me I need to upgrade. Now we can get kind of like a miniature calendar version, but it's just not very good. So what we can do on Todoist is we can go to upcoming right here, and we can see this is like a miniature calendar. So we have today, tomorrow, Saturday. We can scroll along and see like the next week right here. However, this is not an actual calendar. This is classed as a board view. And once again, if we want to see an actual calendar, like we can right here on Asana, then we do need to upgrade. The other downside to this is if you have multiple projects, then these are all going to overlap. So the beauty of the calendar on Asana is we can come in and I could go to sales and client acquisition calendar, and I'm only going to see the calendar for this specific project. Whereas on Todoist, I can go into the calendar and yes, I can see sales and client acquisition, but it's also going to fill the entire calendar with other things. And I can't really go in and see specific projects for sales and client acquisition. So on Todoist, it's very simple and very easy to use. We can go between this Kanban chart, move things around, add subtasks in, set due dates. We can also flick over to the list view and see everything right here. And we can do all of this inside of Asana. We can go to the list view right here. See this as a list, everything that is laid out. We can move these around, all that good stuff. However, this is where Asana really takes things to the next level. And this is why you might want to pay that extra bit of money if you do need any of these features. So not only do we have the list and the board view, but we also have a Gantt chart view. Now you do need to upgrade for this. You can get a 30-day free trial, but that is there. This just doesn't exist on Todoist. We also have this dashboard view right here where we get like a report of everything that's going on. It's going to show you incomplete tasks, upcoming tasks by assignee. So you can like balance them out more, see who's got a lot of tasks, see who doesn't have a lot of tasks. We can go to the calendar view. I've showed you this. We then have an overview where we can add in resources. We can enter a project description. We have a workflow. We have messages between the team, and we can add files in right here. So those are the main differences between Asana and Todoist. Essentially, as a quick overview, Todoist is going to be a lot simpler, it's a lot cheaper, but we don't have access to all of these other views. Asana is also going to have some incredible templates that we can choose from when creating a project. Like, you can go for any of these right here. A lot of the work is already done for you, and this looks absolutely incredible. So as I said, this is just a very basic overview, but look at the level of detail that you can get with Asana. You can go really detailed into this, and you can get very in-depth. Whereas with Todoist, it's very simple. You basically get what you see on your screen right now. We basically have this layout. We can go over to the board view, and that is essentially all you are going to get. So that is my comparison of Todoist versus Asana. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.